In today's video, I'm going to discuss about and going to give my perspective on the high performance anxiety or the stress coming out of our expectation from ourselves to perform at an optimal level. So I'm going to give my perspective on the five key points where expectation of the high performance in our career or in our professional life, which always have a consequence and cost of sacrificing our personal well-being, our self-care, work-life balance, overthinking and burnout, as well as strained relationship with our peers, and constant worry and moving through our past rumors or the feeling regret or guilt of our obligations and outperforming the obligations to in order to achieving our expectation for ourselves or for our company or for our personal growth, which has sometimes leading us to a knowledge worker or the beginner entrepreneur or the freelancer or the digital one person business owner. This is most applicable when it's come to working solopreneurs, like working by self and building something, building out of scratch, or like chasing our big and hairy goals, like writing a book or the launching our one person education business or launching our startup or involvement in the some kind of passion based, purpose based or mission based creative working. That's all sorts of dealing with all sorts of followed by the constant uncertainty or the predictions or the shortage of fundings and capitalizations or the investment like this. And if as a beginner, if this all these things has to be overcome in a phase wise of the launching or the doing our solopreneurship, then sometime it leads it has very consequential effect on our thing. And a lot of people have quit in a initial first stage or the first year or the moment when it's come to building a momentum, or during the second or third year people are feeling like a burnout. They are burnout not physically but mentally, physically and emotionally, and they are on the verge of the quitting their entrepreneurship or quitting their dream chasing work or the creative work. And burnout in the sense working more hours, like it is a become a badge of honor, where the notion of the working harder or the working 70 hours from the founding members of the experienced tycoons, even they are prevailing. And all these notions are putting pressure on the uh, new age leaders or the new age creative performers or the leadership role playing peoples, and they struggling with the lots of the anxiety and stress at the same time, while feeling the guilt for not being available for our self care, putting down our self care. And ultimately they are becoming prone to the physical illness as well. Second crucial thing is that they are all dealing with the strained relationships, where high functioning anxiety can take a toll on our personal relationship with our family members, or if we are the both people or the couples are working together for building a dream, then they are also sometimes there is a conflict happen between the team, where the purpose and value is not aligned with the people who have whom they have hired for. And they much focusing most on the external achievements, often lead to the neglecting the meaningful connection with our partner or with a life partner, or sometime it is our investor, or we maybe may not be very closer relationship, which is going to be always in the going in the double edged sword. So that's all of a sudden all the aspirations and our projects being at the danger of the collapse down in the one place, in the one instance. And all of a sudden everything is become everything looks like a very great or very ideal or very futuristic, then like we are reaching or we living our ideal lifestyle, then all all of has suddenly comes across the collapsing down or the creating conflict with each other. And the next thing is fear of failure and self-criticism. More than all these things, the when it's come to initiating or starting from the scratch, where we have to dealing with a lot of multiple skills, because we are very people are very new to this all entrepreneur things, where we have to learn marketing, where we have to also learn our core areas of the expertise and our strength or our whatever our niche is, because we have to tackle all these marketing jargons or the competitor analysis or the uh, competitor analysis, our target customers needs and desires and frustrations, and we have to build a product among them, like creating the lead magnet or the making the creating a personal brand like that. So that's how, because we can leverage the social media and we can launch something for ourselves. So this kind of thing is always putting ourselves in a constant worrying or the overthinking, and we start putting very little things or the minor tasks in the chorus or the uh, not very high impactful task, even those kind of tasks we putting out, and then it become compelling on each other, and this will create a burden in our brain, and that's our brain have a limited bandwidth to deal with and juggling all these things simultaneously all at the same time, and this creates the fear of failure, and we try to beating ourselves up and criticizing ourselves so much, so that I'm not able to perform, or I'm not able to do even such a basic thing, and we are always in a dilemma of whether it is outsourcing or whether I have to delegate, or whom to trust or whom not to trust. We are the seeking the feedback from our market, because we have none no any solid foundation or the solid validation standpoint where we can confidently go with that even a single project or the single product. So this is the all the factors are the coming out of the high performance anxiety or in the stress, and this is the being in this state for a longer time in the it will create the perpetual state of stress, and well we our brain our body which cannot withstand one the on withstand with the continuous basis of the continuous basis of the survival mode, because whenever our body is brain is signaling the survival mode, then it's feel like a very danger threat and I cannot live further. So it creates the cortisol and all these chemicals or hormones, which is ultimately going to mobilize our organs energy and the appetite on the or the like energy, and there is no energy left for making a creative work or the uh, managing or dealing with all these business aspects of the our launch or the startup phase. So in order to cope all these things, we must know about this kind of the anxiety or the stress is a short term and not long term, and we have to cultivate the practice of reasoning instead of reacting, because all these hypertensions environment hypertension demands of our attention on the all these activities is demanding more energy, and once we are left behind with our energy, then our physical organs or physical stimulations is going to trigger our the survival mode, and once our survival mode is being triggered, then we react not with a conscious or with our executive mind, but we are reacting with our survival mind, and survival mind is always meant for to make us alive, make us conserve the energy for the flight or the flee or the run away from the situation. So these all these things are derived from the high performance anxiety or the high function work demand. So this is all about today's video about high performance or the high functioning individuals, and all if you are relating any of these things, that the first thing is becoming aware of this kind of anxiety, and we have to tackle not in a very hyperactive way, because it is good for short term memory, it will push us trigger us to do the important work, but if it is a continuous and if it is a prolonged, and if you find the symptoms of signs of the constant physical frustration or the physical tensions or the stretching or headache like a tiredness, then and then we must become alert that something is missing or something is going wrong, and we have to reshuffle for our, we allot our time for ourselves, for our personal care, where we can do some mindfulness, we can do some journaling, we can brainstorming with our the actual reality, instead of becoming the infatuated with our all imagined problems or the situations. And we can make a path out of this chaos, and ultimately we win and make a peaceful impact for ourselves, and create a ideal lifestyle what we are thriving for, what we are deserving for.